There are a wide range of housing matters that concern the residents of the Witham constituency, and I know that both ministers on the front bench might be familiar with some of them, but I just want to pick on three particular examples. First of all, the 5-year land supply and how it is calculated is an issue that is affecting communities across the country. We are seeing planning applications and appeals by developers, and developers in particular, trying to pick apart a declared pipeline within local plans and which local councils have. And I think we have to be frank here. Highly paid consultants and advisors are producing lengthy reports for applicants and appeals which the public can struggle to contest because they don't have the resources. And I have many cases in my constituents with the applicants trying to pick apart the council's supply and pipeline and go against local community planning and local councils' planning objectives as well, which is simply not good enough at all. And really, I think just on this point, we all recognise that the delivery of land and housing, can go sometimes beyond the control of a council, the actual framework and the mandate of a council. But I'd urge the government in particular to look again at how much weight is applied to the 5-year supply, and to particularly ensure that councils and communities have more protections on this matter, because we are seeing developers think that by ripping apart a 5-year supply calculation, they can develop almost anywhere, and that is a major issue across the board.
Mr Deputy Speaker, I hear what the Right Honourable Lady is saying. She's making a strong point, but would she agree with me that, and I hope she will, that part of the solution is to encourage neighbourhood plans, particularly in her constituency?
So I'm going to come on to that, and I thank the Minister for that completely, because I want to see communities and my communities empowered, and I think all members of Parliament do, when it comes to the planning decision-making process. Now, I've had recent examples in my constituency, in Witham Town itself, with an application known as Gimson's, which is the site at Riverview in Witham, which was deemed to be a visually important site and regarded by everyone in the community, highly regarded. And the local plan protects the site from development, and the draft local plan, which could be 2 years away from adoption, recommends approximately 40 dwellings, but an application for 78 came along and has been granted permission, and residents are appalled that their views were ignored. And I think the point is here, I'd like to see the government, I'm a great believer in neighbourhood plans, I encourage all my parishes in particular to develop a neighbourhood plan, but we want to see much more support as well for community-based planning and neighbourhood plans, particularly with parish councils, and I would urge the Minister and his team as well to try and give more resource to parishes and communities so that we can actually make sure they're protected from developers who come along sometimes wanting to rip up the 5-year land supply, challenge councils and challenge communities, but importantly ensure that resources and place shaping can happen, which the Minister has already spoken about. My final point is actually on ways in which we can support housing and development. The Minister has spoken about garden settlements, and we've had many conversations, and I'd urge him, if he wouldn't mind, to ask the Secretary of State to reply back to me on some of the outstanding correspondence we have on this. There is a huge opportunity across all government departments now to work together to ensure that we can have integrated planning, which basically means that we can have the right kind of infrastructure, yes, when it comes to road and rail, but also when it comes to health, when it comes to schools, when it comes to public amenities and services too. And I think this is a great programme that our government could take forward, and I'd really urge him and his colleagues across government to work in this integrated way so we can drive the right kind of local community outcomes when it comes to housing and planning.
Thank you.